from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Friday, August 19th, 2016. I'm Ann Gownley. A couple was arraigned today in Shenandoah a year after their alleged neglect of their mother. WYLN's Abby Piskel has all the details.
Police and 911 were called to a home in Shenandoah on Friday, August 14th, 2015, where they found the body of Elaine Latshaw. Latshaw resided in a Mahanoy City home with her son, 58-year-old John Latshaw Jr., and his girlfriend, 53-year-old Dorothy Robinson. Police responded to the call where Robinson had said her mother had died. The victim was found behind the closed doors of her bedroom, covered in a multitude of bodily fluids and bed sores.
This case is about elder abuse, and the evidence that surrounds this case is horrific. I really can't elaborate. Based on the charges, murder of the third and the neglect of care, the involuntary manslaughter, we will be prosecuting on all of these counts and expecting nothing less than convictions.
Latshaw's mother previously resided in a nursing home. However, Latshaw decided to sign her out of the home because he allegedly did not like the way she was being treated, and the expense was depleting not only her own money, but his as well.
This woman had counted on her loved ones, her son, her son's wife, to provide care for her. She was left alone. We do have some interviews that we did with some neighbors that had been concerned. They hadn't seen or heard from her in a while, and no one should have to go through something like that in their later years. She certainly deserved a lot more respect than what she got.
Both Robinson and Latshaw face 1 count of murder of the third degree, 1 count neglect of care of a dependent person, 1 count involuntary manslaughter, and 1 count recklessly endangering another person.
She kept crying and crying and crying. She kept hiding. She kept pulling the covers because she did not want John to know what was happening. She kept crying for everybody. She did not want to go to doctors. She wanted me to hide everything. I loved her.
Just hours after Robinson was arraigned, her boyfriend Latshaw was also arraigned right here at Magisterial District Judge Anthony Kilker's office.
She wanted to be with my father. Matter of fact, she was in 3 different homes, begged the homes to let her release. The home released her the last time that they brought her home in an ambulance. And we did what she wanted. She went to a lawyer, had papers wrote up of how she wanted things done, and now I'm here.
A preliminary hearing for the pair is set for September 15th at 11 a.m. before Magisterial Judge Anthony Kilker. In Shenandoah, for WYLN News, I'm Abby Piskel.
Thank you, Abby. A woman was struck by a vehicle today in the area of 15th and Alter Streets near the Turkey Hill. The accident happened just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. Hazleton police, along with state police and APTS ambulance, responded to the scene and found the woman in the parking lot with injuries. The woman was taken to a local trauma center for treatment. Police are continuing to investigate today's incident. 8 people were arrested Thursday after a drug bust in Shenandoah. Police charge Roxanne Colorado, Jeffrey Nuanas Jr., Sean Keating, Robert Sargent, Anthony Usich, and Walter Nowitzki, all of Shenandoah, along with others. The names are up on your screen now. Police also issued 4 bench warrants for 4 people still wanted on outstanding warrant arrests. Police said the drugs involved were fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine. The body of a man has been identified after 3 separate car crashes that occurred yesterday afternoon. The crashes occurred yesterday morning around 5 a.m. on Interstate 81 southbound between the Mahanoy City and Frackville exits, tying up traffic for more than 7 hours. The fatal crash occurred a half a mile north of the initial crashes. 34-year-old Edward Rosario, who was driving a Turtle Power delivery truck, collided with a Kane Freight Line tractor trailer who was traveling in the southbound lane. The Kane driver was not injured. According to state police, the crashes then occurred at 5 a.m. The first one, it happened when a FedEx truck traveling south lost control of his truck 2 miles north of the Frackville exit. The truck flipped onto its driver's side, blocking the passing lane of 81 South. The driver was not injured. A motorhome towing an SUV was involved in a second accident in the same area. The occupants suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Traffic was rerouted to the Frackville-Maria Highway. Police are continuing to investigate these crashes. Girardville's police chief is leaving. Melville Tomei has submitted his resignation to the borough. It will take effect on August 30th. Tomei did not cite any specific reasons why he's leaving, only saying it's time to move on. He was hired as a patrolman in 2012 and later promoted to police chief. One of the two fires that occurred early Thursday morning in Hazleton was intentionally set. The first fire happened around 12:30 in the morning at 53 North Vine Street, which was ruled accidental. There were no injuries, but the fire displaced 3 people. The second fire happened around 1 a.m. at 510 East Broad Street. The occupants were not home when the fire broke out on the first floor. A mother and 2 children were displaced and are being assisted by the American Red Cross. The fire was investigated by state police, and a fire marshal said that worked with the city firefighters determined that the fire had been set. The investigation is still ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call the police by dialing 911. A Dallas police officer was attacked by a Dallas Township man apparently angered over DUI charge. 44-year-old Patrick Malloy attacked Officer James Martin Thursday afternoon. Police Chief James Dury said that Martin was in the police station doing paperwork when he heard a disturbance outside. He found Malloy putting a statue along the base of the front steps and the station and attaching a chain to the statue along with a pizza box with pizza inside across the base of the steps. When Martin asked Malloy what he was doing, Malloy jumped him. Martin tried to handcuff him and a fight broke out. After a brief chase, Malloy was subdued and arrested. Martin sustained serious injuries to his left elbow and ankle and was taken to Geisinger Wyoming Valley Medical Center for treatment. Dury and Martin arrested Malloy 1 week ago on a suspicion of DUI. Malloy is in county prison awaiting a preliminary hearing. Governor Tom Wolf has nominated Bruce Beamer to fill out the unexpired term for Attorney General. Beamer had been the first assistant under Kathleen Kane, but soon found himself at odds with her as he testified against her in trial. In announcing him, Wolf said Beamer enjoys broad support from both Democrats and Republicans. He also called Beamer an experienced prosecutor. The nomination was greeted with enthusiasm from employees of the AG's office. Kane's first assistant, Bruce Castor, had assumed the role of acting attorney general Wednesday evening, but Wolf's appointment of Beamer supersedes that. Beamer still needs confirmation from 2/3 of the state Senate. It isn't scheduled to be in session until September, though Senate leaders can call an emergency session with just 24 hours notice. Luzerne County's new head of corrections wants to bring back random drug testing of his staff. Mark Rakovich says he supports drug testing for the entire corrections staff, including himself. The prison staff used to be drug tested, but for reasons no one seemed to remember, that testing stopped a few years ago. Rakovich says that he plans to ask County Council for the budget to renew the testing. It costs around $42 per test, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. With around 300 employees in that division, that works out to about $12,600 to test every employee. The call for renewed testing comes after a second correctional officer, 41-year-old John Sakowitz of Plains Township, was hit with federal charges of extortion and witness tampering after he allegedly took bribes, including drugs, in exchange for allowing inmates in the jail's work release program to take furloughs. He's the second guard to face charges. Earlier this year, one-time Wilkes-Barre Area School Board member and city council candidate Louis Elmy pleaded guilty in July to extortion in a similar scheme. Well, it's time now for our first look at our forecast. The weekend is finally upon us, and what kind of weather can we expect before finalizing our plans? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with all the details. Joe?
Well, at this point in time, 1 out of the 2 days not looking too bad across our area. We still have to deal with some warm temperatures, but we also have some cooler and more comfortable temperatures to talk about in the 7-day forecast. I'll explain in just a few. And
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, a Peruvian student was welcomed by the HIP Center in Hazleton. She's part of the Sacred Valley Project, a nonprofit organization based in Peru. Our Aaron Harvey has the details on why she's here and how long she will be in the area. More news, weather, and sports is coming your way only on WYLN. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, video journalists Mike Lula and Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Gary Perna, Abby Piskel, and Aaron Harvey. Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and John Eric Poli, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
At Booty's Place, they're known for delicious homemade food at affordable prices. And now there's so much more, like an elevator for easy upstairs access and refurbished interior with an outdoor patio that's now open. To keep their food second to none, Chef Bobby is back. They're making their own fresh pasta, have a new state-of-the-art kitchen, and an updated menu. There are still old favorites like Grandma's Pizza, plus new dishes, all with fresh ingredients. Booty's Place, still, definitely the best.
At All American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you not only get the vehicle that you want,
you also get the lowest financing options.
We also deliver unmatched service.
Whether you're in need of a work truck, have an active family lifestyle, or simply want to show off your fun, adventurous side, All American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a wide variety of inventory to choose from. The summer clearance event is going on now. Stop in today.
Last night, the Hip Center in Hazleton welcomed a special guest that came all the way from Peru. WYLN's Aaron Harvey has more.
The Hazleton Integration Project and the Sacred Valley Project are now partners. Last night, the Hip Center welcomed a Peruvian student with a meal. The Sacred Valley Project is a nonprofit organization based in Peru that is dedicated to improving access to education for young women from low-income families. Founding president of HIP, Bob Curry, explains HIP's partnership with Sacred Valley.
So tonight we wanted to provide a real welcome for Carlotta and the people from Sacred Valley Project, and really began to cement the ties between Sacred Valley and the Hazleton Integration Project. So we're having a meal that we're grateful to the Hazleton Peruvian community who opened their homes to these people, and they're cooking Peruvian dishes, authentic dishes, and so it's a bit of a celebration. We're very happy to take part in it and to kind of kickstart this relationship between our organization and theirs.
Co-founder and director of educational operations of Sacred Valley Project, Joe Levitan, explains how he found out about HIP.
We partnered with the Hazleton Integration Project just recently. I met Bob and Elaine at a conference, and they were just wonderful people, and they told me about their project, and I just think this Hazleton Integration Project is really great for the community, and it's really doing something that's really necessary all around the world.
Levitan explains what exactly Sacred Valley is.
It's a small nonprofit that provides access to secondary school, or the equivalent of high school, for Quechua young women who are of low economic resources, who come from indigenous communities who, without our support, would have to walk up to 4 to 8 hours to attend secondary school, and some of them actually did before we existed. So now we've been able to create supplementary education and educational center in Ollantaytambo, Peru, to really provide a high-quality education and ensure that they're successful.
The meal held at the HIP Center was, of course, for Peruvian student Carlota.
We're here to, one, celebrate the arrival of Carlota, who's one of our students from the Sacred Valley Project. She's a really inspiring young woman who was able to come from her community, which was 4 hours away from the nearest secondary school, to go to the equivalent of high school and then graduate with top honors. So her story is actually very incredible, and she was able to win a scholarship from an organization called She's the First that allowed her to come to a conference in New York. So while we were here, we wanted to share her experience and her time and help raise awareness about the Sacred Valley Project.
In Hazleton, for WILN News, I'm Aaron Harvey.
Thank you, Aaron. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Plus, the Hazleton American Legion is holding an event to honor our nation's veterans. Find out how you can help coming up here on WYLN News. Stay tuned.
Vinny's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant in Hazleton, serving fresh homemade Italian food, pizza, pasta, wings, and home of the wedgie. Vinny's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant in Hazleton. Drive in or pick up, and we deliver. Call 455-4444.
Maylats Farm has fresh produce, tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelons, blueberries, and everybody's summer favorite, sweet corn, and so much more. Everything under the big top. Route 93 across from Tom's Country Kitchen. Call 570-233-3087. They're open 7 days a week.
Were you satisfied with your child's education this school year? Well, take a look at what Marian Catholic High School has to offer. Students are challenged academically, spiritually, morally, and physically. Excellent student-teacher ratio and a full array of clubs and activities. 90% of all grads continue on to higher education. A sound investment in your child's future. Affordable tuition and scholarships are available. Log on to our website or call today for a free tour.
M Valley Market, located at 699 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo, is now open. It's your one-stop shop for gas or diesel, Green Mountain Coffee, Gears Iced Tea, Pennsylvania Lottery, tobacco products, and so much more. And don't forget, you can pick up your favorite candy and snacks. M Valley Market, 699 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo.
Well, not too bad of a day across our area today. We have the sunshine out there. Humidity values a little bit lower across our area, and boy, the sun is really shining now. I probably look better now that I'm out in the sunlight. All right, it's not going to be too bad of a weekend, especially the first part of the weekend, but then by the second part of the weekend, some more showers and thunderstorms coming into play. All right, on to the graphic for the day, and well, we continue to be in the 80s, but those dew point numbers only in the 50s, so you walk outside, it feels pretty nice. Not as bad as when they're in the 60s and 70s like we've experienced, and you feel that tropical-like weather. You don't have that at this point in time, but you have the warm temperatures, which is good. Now those winds, again, not much of a factor. We have not seen any measurable rainfall. We have all zeros across the board since the midnight hour. Temperature-wise for the day, how we fared out, 83 and 64 the split in temperature, so overall not too bad of a day to end our work week on this Friday. And tomorrow not looking too bad temperature-wise either, but some cooler weather on the move as we start going into next week. Throughout the state of Pennsylvania, well, there's a little bit of some rain as you head out toward the west, but toward the east, not looking too bad. A mixture of clouds and sunshine throughout the state of Pennsylvania. Northeastern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, temperatures in the 70s, and we got some 80s out there as well. Overall, it does look pretty nice and looking pretty decent as we go into our Saturday. And again, those winds really not much of a factor across our area. It's pretty nice out there. There's a nice evening setting up in store for our area as well. Extended forecast looking like this, and what we can expect over the next few days going into tomorrow. Well, a mix of clouds and sunshine in the 80s, and then we got the upper 70s as we go into our Sunday. There's going to be some showers and thunderstorms, I think. More clouds than sunshine, and then some sunshine and some clouds around as we go into next week. It's not looking too bad at all right through the entire week, going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But notice it's going to be much cooler. Temperatures only in the 70s, but look at those overnight lows. Generally, we're going to be dropping down into the 50s for overnight low temperatures, so some cool weather, at least in the nights. That's going to be coming in our direction. So stick around. We'll have a lot more for you coming up after this break.
At All American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you not only get the vehicle that you want,
you also get the lowest financing options.
We also deliver unmatched service.
Whether you're in need of a work truck, have an active family lifestyle, or simply want to show off your fun, adventurous side, All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a wide variety of inventory to choose from. The summer clearance event is going on now. Stop in today.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
At Booty's Place, they're known for delicious homemade food at affordable prices. And now there's so much more, like an elevator for easy upstairs access and refurbished interior with an outdoor patio that's now open. To keep their food second to none, Chef Bobby is back. They're making their own fresh pasta, have a new state-of-the-art kitchen, and an updated menu. There are still old favorites like Grandma's Pizza, plus new dishes, all with fresh ingredients. Booty's Place, still, definitely the best.
One local American Legion post is holding an event this weekend to honor veterans. American Legion Post 76 is holding their second annual Salute to Veterans this Sunday in Hazel Township Community Park. Commander of American Legion Post 76 in Hazelton, Andy Millay, explains the program.
This Sunday, August 21st, from noon to 4, American Legion Post 76 in Hazelton is having a second annual Salute to Veterans, which is being presented by the Sons of the American Legion and the Ladies Auxiliary. We'll have a short program at noon to once again honor the monument and thank the class of 1964 for donating it to the post and honor two classmates who died in Vietnam.
After the service at noon, there will be a free picnic that will include hamburgers and hot dogs.
Free to the public. Veterans are free naturally. We will be asking for donations here as well. So if anybody wants to come on out at noon, see our service. The Honor Guard will be here.
Again, the service will start at noon at the Hazel Township Community Park by the Veterans Monument. Coming up next, Eric DeBerardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbaczyk will have one final look at our weekend forecast. Stay tuned.
M Valley Market, located at 699 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo, is now open. It's your one-stop shop for gas or diesel, Green Mountain Coffee, Gears Iced Tea, Pennsylvania Lottery, tobacco products, and so much more. And don't forget, you can pick up your favorite candy and snacks. M Valley Market, 699 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
I'll keep saying it, 7 days away from Friday Night Lights, and we're talking Olympians. Not Rio, not Lochte Gate, but Jim Thorpe High School. The script for those Olympians has been the same in recent years. Start undefeated, lose your final 3 games, but this year they think they have an Olympic-like quality that could help them compete for medals or districts.
We have a lot of weapons, Justin St. Hill, Sean O'Toole, myself, and quarterbacks, wide receivers, everyone's just making plays, and even up front, we have a great group of line that's coming back too.
That speed translates to the defensive side of the ball, where Jim Thorpe appeared to have a programmed response.
Well, we call ourselves the Red Swarm. We fire off the ball, all tackling, all 11 of us just swarming to the ball. Of course, we'll be flying around. We pride ourselves on defense. Red Swarm, we're not the biggest guys, so we embrace it. You definitely see a lot of swarming to the ball. We all like to come together and make tackles. Group tackling is what we live by.
Jim Thorpe opens with Schuylkill Haven. When you break it down, Myers was essentially 5 points away from turning the Eastern Conference playoffs into the district playoffs in 2015. Forget that though. As we learned, 2016, like each season, presents a unique challenge.
It's a different challenge every year.
The challenge in Jeff Labatch's second season as head coach of Myers is replacing 15 seniors, a group that included many talented skill position players.
We're a different team, so every year you get different group of kids, different dynamic, different personalities.
Different personalities go beyond just the players.
We have some wrinkles. We have a new coach coming in to call the offense, and he brings in his own tricks and changes.
25! I will call Mohawk's offense strictly speed. We have a lot of speed on the team, a lot of good receivers.
Thankfully, the one in charge of running those wrinkles stays the same.
That's key. The quarterback is obviously the leader of the team, and you look to him to control everything that goes on the field because you can't be out on the field.
Willie Wallace enters his second year as a full-time starter. In the offseason, the dual-threat QB said he focused on footwork and getting faster, as well as leadership.
I try to push them, but not like yell and be too bossy, but get them to do what they need to do.
So the goals for 2016, compete each week, get better each week, and of course...
It would have to be if we beat JR again. As long as we beat them, that's a successful season.
Legacy stories are abundant in this area. 37 years after Ron Solt last suited up for Coughlin at right guard, his son Ryan, also a right guard, prepares for his senior season with the Crusaders. Ron went on to play at Division I Maryland and then in the NFL for 9 seasons. Ryan, he has the opportunity to go D1 as well.
As of right now, my top 2 are Pitt and West Virginia, and as of right now, I need to send them film in the first couple weeks and see how that turns out and see where that goes from there. 100% focused on the season, making sure Coughlin Crusaders come first because college is next year, but got to make sure I have a very successful senior year with my teammates and my brothers, and it's going to be a very fun year.
That's it for sports. Stay tuned.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Were you satisfied with your child's education this school year? Well, take a look at what Marian Catholic High School has to offer. Students are challenged academically, spiritually, morally, and physically. Excellent student-teacher ratio and a full array of clubs and activities. 90% of all grads continue on to higher education. A sound investment in your child's future. Affordable tuition and scholarships are available. Log on to our website or call today for a free tour.
Malat's Farm has fresh produce, tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelons, blueberries, and everybody's summer favorite, sweet corn, and so much more. Everything under the big top. Route 93 across from Tom's Country Kitchen. Call 570-233-3087. They're open 7 days a week.
Vinny's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant in Hazleton, serving fresh homemade Italian food, pizza, pasta, wings, and home of the wedgie. Vinny's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant in Hazleton. Drive in or pick up, and we deliver. Call 455-4444.
So here's what we can expect going into the weekend. Not looking bad as we go into tomorrow. We'll be up into the 80s, partly sunny, mix of sun and clouds, and then some showers, thunderstorms around for Sunday. Limited sunshine, but we'll have a lot of clouds around. Going to be cooler, only in the 70s, and we're going to continue to remain in the 70s as we start going into next week. Yeah, it's going to be comfortable. The low humidity levels looking pretty good out there. And look at those overnight low temperatures. We drop from the 60s to the 50s. So it's going to feel very comfortable out there. Very nice, in fact.
Yeah, definitely from even the 70s some nights it was.
Yeah, and those overnight lows.
It feels like the temperatures were the same as it was, just the sun was making it worse. But I saw on that 7-day forecast is football Friday, the very first football Friday. So Eric, your sideline this year.
There will be 10-game full schedule. Next week we start at Berwick, Hazleton at Berwick. It's going to be a good one. Normally, that's not how it opens the season. They normally end with Berwick, but it's going to be a fun one to start the season.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll be there 7 o'clock start time all season long, Friday nights.
All right, sounds good. And Eric,
I sure just went down.
Yeah, it did. How about it? Have a good weekend, everyone.